because the weather is always changing. Pelles fiberglass is the strongest material for windows and patio doors. They're tested from minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit up to 160. The fiberglass frame is even scratch and dent resistant. Pella Windows.
Save on replacement windows by Pella now.
And breaking news out of East Texas tonight, where video captured a tornado as it moved through Winnsboro. You could see it picking up debris and spitting it out, and this is only one part of a destructive storm moving across the Lone Star State.
And I'm Justin Michaels, live for you tonight. Shreveport, Louisiana, that has now a confirmed tornado doing damage to homes and businesses. And of course, this is just the first line of storms going through. There are two more coming tonight. We're going to talk to you about the science behind that, the weather behind it, and the storytelling. People's homes have trees and walls blown out. We'll be live here tonight in Shreveport, Louisiana.
All right, well, tonight's severe storm threat spans several states, all the way from Texas right up into West Tennessee. More than 16 million people currently are under some kind of severe weather alerts, and more than 88 million face wind alerts. Here's a look at the current watches and warnings that we have out right now. And again, you can see there are several tornado warnings, particularly along this line as it moves past the Waco, Texas area. We'll be detailing that in just a moment. I'm meteorologist Jeff Morrow, and we are tracking the potential of more tornadoes up to hurricane force winds, and again, the potential for flash flooding.
And I'm storm specialist Carl Parker. We're already seeing some damage, but we have hours of severe weather to go. Thank you so much for joining us for this special edition of Storm Coverage tonight.
We have seen video of tornadoes in both Texas and Louisiana, and the damage assessment is currently underway as new communities brace for the arrival of more severe storms. Now, Carl is on the radar this evening, and he has the latest on where these damaging storms are right now.
Well, right now what we're looking at is a big line of storms, and along with that there is an enormous damaging wind threat that is now coming through the Metroplex, east of the Metroplex, down across the 35 and 45 corridors and back down into the hill country as well. We'll go through some of the warnings here. Ongoing warning for San Antonio right now, and there's a brand new warning that has just been issued a little farther to the east. You can see the leading edge of the strong wind now coming into Caldwell and Gonzales and Guadalupe counties. This warning going until 9 p.m., looking at the possibility of some 60-mile-per-hour wind. Got another little area of storms that's going to be coming through San Antonio right now, but that is a little bit elevated, probably more of a hail threat. Then farther north, we see a large severe thunderstorm here for the Austin metro area, Bastrop, Travis, and Williamson counties under warning right now. And here is a tornado warning that has just come out for Milam County going until 8:30. You can see the little curlicue that has developed right in there. That's where the spin is. Let's take a look at the velocity mode here. And so right in that area, that's where we're seeing the rotation showing up. And I'm going to track this forward. This is going to be coming up into the Cameron area and moving generally to the east-northeast, moving towards Tracy right now, then coming into Minerva at 8:09, Cameron at 8:12, and Hanover at 8:20. And all of those areas, please get to your safe place. You've got a possible tornado coming your way. Also, let's circle this and see if there's any evidence of debris at this time. Not seeing a debris signature, but a dangerous storm nonetheless coming up into those areas. Then as we go a little farther north, we've got severe thunderstorms continuing here and some warnings with a considerable threat tag just to the east of Terrell there. Hopkins, Rains, Van Zant counties under warning for the possibility of 70-mile-per-hour wind. That's also the case a little farther to the north as well. So we're looking at a very serious damaging wind threat over a large area and just kind of tracking this whole area out. as it moves to the east. We'll see where that's going to be headed here. Again, east of the Metroplex, moving into Sulphur Springs right now, coming into Mineola, Newsom as well, and then also moving into the Mount Pleasant area. And then farther north, one warning here, well west of Little Rock. We've been watching some supercells coming up into parts of southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana, but a lot of them actually failing because there is a layer of warmer air aloft that has interrupted those storms. Here you see on the on the water vapor imagery, the very strong upper low that's moving through. There you see the instability, the fuel for these storms. There's more than enough of that tonight. And when we also look at the wind shear in the atmosphere, we see very strong winds. These are winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour at 5,000 feet. And that's a big part of what drives a tornado threat when you've got a real sharp increase in wind speed and a change in wind direction from the surface up to 5,000 feet. And so here is a product that combines those parameters. When we look at the instability along with that low-level wind shear, we get this tornado potential, and you can see exactly where it's at its highest in the northeast part of Texas, northwestern Louisiana, and also into southern Arkansas. Again, as I mentioned, there have been some cells that got going here in parts of Louisiana, but they failed pretty quickly as there is some warmer air aloft interrupting those storms. And then as we follow this going through the night, we see that tornado potential out ahead of the line is also going to be migrating eastward through the Arklatex into southern and central parts of Arkansas and also into northern parts of Louisiana. That is where we're going to be looking at that tornado potential. So going through the model forecast here, great big long line of storms, could be embedded supercells within that are capable of producing tornadoes and damaging wind. We do see some individual cells perhaps popping out ahead of the line. We need to watch those very carefully. That big line of storms coming into Little Rock and Shreveport around midnight Central Time. Then we go into the overnight hours, maybe some additional development overnight in Arkansas with that very strong upper low beginning to pull out and into the Mid-South. And then we go into the early morning hours, and even early tomorrow morning, there could be some supercell storms making their way into Mississippi. So this is going to be one of those events where we expect to see a continued threat right through the overnight, into the morning hours, and into tomorrow afternoon as well. And we want to get out now to our Charles Peak. He is in Hopkins County in Texas. And Charles, see it's really coming down there sideways. What's the latest from that area?
Yeah, Carl, just 2 or 3 minutes ago, it was coming down a lot worse here. The rain was going sideways, probably gusts 60-plus miles an hour. As I've been driving down the interstate here from Greenville to the east, multiple power flashes. In some cases, I had the sparks in front of me, and that's where the power lines, the wind is blowing the power lines together and causing the arcing and the sparking and that type of situation. So definitely a difficult situation out on the roads tonight as this line continues to push to the east.
Along the I-20 corridor or the I-30 corridor?
I-30, sir. I'm on I-30 moving to the northeast up towards Texarkana.
And I understand these storms are being warned on for 70-mile-per-hour wind right now. Did you see, very high velocities when the line first came through?
Yeah, actually, it's just ahead of the line. Just before it gets there, it's pushing that wind out, and that's when I was seeing the most power flashes back in Greenville. Is just before the line got there, the skies were just lighting up blue with all the power flashes.
And so what is your plan going forward here, sir?
Carl, I'm going to continue to try to stay with the line as long as I can to the east, and we'll see how fast it moves and if I'm able to safely stay with it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. As always, Charles, we certainly do appreciate it, and we hope you stay safe out there. And we want to take a look at this ongoing threat through tonight and show you where the worst areas are likely to be. You see that it is centered in northeastern parts of Texas and the Arklatex and also into Arkansas. That's where the damaging wind threat is going to be at its greatest. Not as much farther south. Again, we've got some warmer air. That's going to make it harder for storms to get going farther south. But a 75-mile-per-hour mile-per-hour wind threat anywhere from the 35 and 45 corridors in the northern part of the Lone Star State over into the Arklatex and into southern Arkansas as well. Torcon for tonight, we've got a 5 out of 10 that is centered near Texarkana and the Arklatex, a 3 out of 10 farther to the south, and also a threat for very large hail in these same areas across North Texas as well as towards the Arklatex. Could be 2 inches or larger. Remember, golf ball size hail is 1.75 inches, so we're talking about golf ball size hail and even larger as we go through the rest of tonight. And also not to be forgotten about, we're going to see areas of storms that continue to roll across the same spots hour after hour. That's going to mean an accumulation of very heavy rainfall. And so there is a serious flash flood threat from north of the Metroplex across into Oklahoma, into Arkansas, and right up into the middle Mississippi Valley as well. That is going to go through the overnight and into tomorrow morning. Jeff, over to you.
The Weather Channel's Justin Michaels, he has been standing by in Shreveport, Louisiana. And Justin, I understand a tornado did go through that area, at least a possible tornado. Looks like it did some damage.
Yeah, Jeff, that's what we're understanding about the tornado. We have seen video. Plenty of people shot cell phone video of it. Of course, we would encourage you not to do that. But of course, with cell phones on our hands all the time, we tend to get a lot of video, and we have seen plenty of it tonight. Jeff, I want to point a few things out before we talk to the homeowner here. You can see these massive southern trees coming down and kind of crushing the sides of these homes, doing a lot of damage to these homes. And yes, there were people home here in Shreveport, Louisiana, as this suspected tornado did come through. Let's go over here and talk to Kenny Tingle. Kenny is a veteran of the United States Navy. We're grateful for you, sir. And we're also grateful that you're standing here talking to us right now because you were home as the tornado came through here. What was it like? What did you hear? This has got to be a scary night for you because you had family there too.
It really is. I actually didn't hear nothing. I mean, it got really, really quiet. All of a sudden, it just went boom. And then my daughter-in-law came to me and said, hey, there's stuff flying across the yard. So I go out the front door to see what's going on, and the transformer blows. And it was scary. It was totally frightening. And she about ran me over trying to get to somewhere safe. And I'm just so thankful that she and my grandson are safe.
Right, because your grandson is over here. I'm not going to put him on camera, but your grandson he's okay.
Yeah, he's 3 years old, just turned 3 in September. The little man's a trooper. I'm just thankful. I truly am. Thankfully, my wife wasn't home. I wish she'd been with me, but I'm glad she wasn't home.
Right.
Because it would have scared her really, really bad. I'm thankful to the good Lord above that nobody got hurt. Yeah, my house is in shambles, but it's going to be okay. It's replaceable. Lives aren't.
Well, Kenny, it's amazing because you're already jumping on top of this. There's more severe weather coming tonight. I mean, is that kind of drive? I mean, your son's up on the roof. You've got people up there tarping right now. You've got a full-scale operation happening here right now in just the minutes after a tornado.
Yeah, both my sons are up there, and my best friend's up there helping them. It's great to have good people in your life, and I'm just blessed.
As you look around, I mean, we were standing here just a moment ago, Kenny, when one of these massive branches finally broke free from this tree. I mean, it scared all of us when it came down. I mean, but your wife was behind it. I mean, there's lots of dangers here right now.
Yeah,
so
it's really bad, you know. When there's a yard across the street that he had a tree uprooted. The tree was out in the street. I mean, there's like 10 people from the neighborhood went over and helped him cut his tree down so that he could get out of the street. This is a close-knit community, and we all come out to help everybody. And I'm just so thankful that all of us feel that way about each other. You know, it's not you don't see a lot of communities. You see a lot of other stuff in communities, but we're pretty close-knit around here. And I'm so thankful that that tree limb fell and didn't hit my wife. That would have been devastating to me.
Kenny, when you came out and you kind of started, there was obviously no light because the power is out. We keep seeing transformers blow all over the place. The sky keeps lighting up with all sorts of electrical problems. When you finally came out, though, and however you saw the general state of things, what did you think when you saw it for the first time, the damage the tornado had done?
Wow. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to use no anti-church words on TV, but wow. You know, my son, his roof, his hood to his car was over in the neighbor's driveway. I'm lucky to
rip the hood off of the car?
Yeah. And sent it over in their driveway. I'm thankful that nobody was walking down the street and got hit with it, or that couple wasn't outside. You know, it's I've never been through a tornado before. I've been through hurricanes when I was in the Navy. I've been through all kind of stuff when I was in the Navy, riding on ships with great big waves, but this is probably the most scariest and, what's a good word, massive piece of weather I've ever seen.
Right.
It's incredible. And we all got through it safely. That's the main thing.
Well, Kenny, the concern tonight is, and I know you're working on a lot of things here and have a lot of other focuses, but there's more severe weather coming. I mean, you can feel the wind. It's not over.
Yeah, it's not.
Where are you going to go? Are you planning to leave here? Or are you going to stay home?
No, we're going to go get us a hotel room somewhere. Our insurance will take care of that. We'll have to pay for a couple of nights, but that's fine. I don't mind. But, you know, again, and I hate to keep repeating myself, but I'm just thankful my family's safe.
Right.
It's nothing I've ever experienced before. I mean, I was in a war in Lebanon. This was worse because people that are close to me could have got hurt or killed. I'm just thankful we're all okay. You know, it's something I hope nobody else ever has to experience. It's truly terrifying. I've never been in a hurricane before, or I'm sorry, a tornado. And this is just beyond my wildest imagination. I've seen the damage that's done, but I've never had to experience one. And this was incredible. It's not something I want to experience again, I can promise you that. But, you know,
we're grateful for you. Thank you very much.
It's good. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all being here.
Yeah, we'll stay out of your way, I promise. And thank you again for your service. We appreciate you, sir.
You're welcome.
So, again, what people live through and what they get through, of course, it's people helping people that'll make all of this better. But remember, folks, we have a long night ahead of us. We have more storms coming, midnight and even tomorrow morning during the commute. It's going to be a restless night for a lot of people here in Louisiana, in Texas, and all of these southern states. Of course, the Weather Channel will continue live coverage of the severe outbreak of weather here in the South after these messages.